And look, apparently, after last week, I heard we needed a part two. All right, so this will be part two to our message last week regarding like how do you be excellent in business so that you can increase your income exponentially, right? We're talking about excellence in business to increase your income exponentially, and so I got a really short window today. We're gonna pack in as much as we absolutely can. I actually have a yacht mastermind going on in Miami that I'm about to get on the road and go tend to. And so, but nonetheless, right, just as we talking about excellence and exercising that muscle of consistency, here we are. And but don't be shy. Make sure you put your questions in the comments ASAP, right? So we can get to them before I log off for here. P, what's up, my bro? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling great. And like my birthday's tomorrow, so I got to give you your flowers, real quick, cause I know it's supposed to be about me. As I've been just reflecting on these last 23 years, I appreciate you for just letting me sit at your feet, for letting God use you for just this whole year. If you told me this would have been my year of 23, I would have thought you would have been lying. So I'm just grateful. You've been a beautiful role model for me, and yeah, man, this year has been nothing short of amazing. So I just wanted to appreciate you for that, as I've just been in a state of gratitude. So yeah, man, that's where I'm at right now.
Hey, I appreciate you too, bro. Here's what I want to tell you to that point. There's only one. I do this with nobody else, right? So it's divine. That's all I can tell you. And you do your part, which encourages me to do mine, and that's the way that this works. That's the healthy ecosystem. By the way, everybody help me wish Young Praise a happy early birthday as his birthday
Appreciate it.
is tomorrow. You be how old, bro?
24,
He be
24.
24 tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah,
Just now go back and think of all the conversations we had. Okay. He will be 24 tomorrow. So that should inspire some people. That probably put a fire in some people, and it should do both, right? It should do both. And
yeah,
so
100%.
yeah, bro. So yeah, let's get into it, man. I know that the time clock is ticking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So first thing is what habits separate people what habits separate people who live with excellence versus those who just only desire it.
Here's what's interesting about that question, right? And that's why I took a second to process it. I don't know people that desire excellence that don't actually practice excellence.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
excellence is rare air. I don't think there's people that's like, I want to be great, but then don't do the things to go be great. I think there's people that want the look of being great, but they don't have a true desire to be great. They want the winnings and the teamings of being great, but they don't want to do the discipline of the activity that produces greatness. Right? It's covetousness. It's
that's
covetous.
good.
I always have a hard time pronouncing that word. Covetousness, right? To where I want what you have, but I don't want to do what you did.
Right.
So I very seldom, I don't know if I've ever come across anybody that's wanted excellence wholeheartedly that I haven't seen mirror the anatomy of somebody that does.
Mm, that's interesting, because I hear, personally, for me, I think it's maybe the younger generation, like you said, they like the look of it. I hear, I want to be great, or I want to change my life, or all the things, but nothing's being done. So that's why I was asking you, because I'm like, I've seen so many people who have spoke about excellence but haven't worked towards it whatsoever. So that's that's interesting that you say that, because I've seen a lot of people who would talk, like even at my job, they're like, yeah, I want to be like this, I want to be great, I want to be excellent in my field, and it's like doing the same habits every day. So that's why I was asking, because I wanted to see if you ever came across that. um this is the next one. So how do you balance excellence so you don't slip how do you balance excellence so you don't slip into burnout or perfectionism?
So, for me, the foundation of how we do business, the foundation of how we do life is Colossians 3 and 23,
Yeah,
which is do all your work as if you're doing it for the Lord, not for man's approval,
yeah,
because you know that your reward and inheritance come from the Lord, right? So and I was explaining this to a pastor the other day, and I had even a newer revelation about that text. It said, "Do all your work as if you're doing it for the Lord, not for human masters, because you know that your reward and your inheritance come from the Lord." So what does that really mean, right? What it really means is wherever the bar is for your human masters, that you should always be exceeding that.
Mm,
If my job expects me to be here for 8 hours, I should be putting in 8.5 for him if it's required. I shouldn't be clocking in and clocking out based on their standard because God is calling me to a higher standard. I never saw this until last week when I was explaining this to a pastor. Like I always knew that the text meant excellence, but I didn't realize the specificity of the text, right? The specificity of it. Why would God tell you to not do it to a human master standard unless his standard exceeded it,
mm, that's good.
right?
That's
That,
good.
that's the implied thing in the text.
Right.
So to answer your question of how do you exude excellence without burnout is making sure that your mark is set on pleasing God, not people. Because if if he set the standard, then he's gonna grace me to hit that.
Right.
Anything that I'm doing outside of that, trying to please people, trying to please this flesh, leaning into pride and perfectionism, that's when you off. When you do it to please him, he'll grace you to do it. When
That's
you do
good.
it to please you and others, is where you start leaning into burnout and perfectionism. Because the truth is, you're really trying to mask or fix a different issue.
Mm,
You're masking the insecurity you're really dealing with by trying to be a perfectionist. You're masking the insecurity you're really dealing with by being prideful, right? When,
right.
when, when I say I don't want to put out content because I don't like how I sound, that's pride. That's pride. Why is it
Right.
pride? Because what I'm saying is I fear the perception of others so much that I'm unwilling to do what's necessary for them
Mm,
because of what I feel about me. Did y'all hear what I just said? If you're not putting out content because of the fear of the perception of others, that's pride.
mm,
Ain't that crazy?
that's good. That's really good.
I realized the other day that I actually fear success more than I fear failure because I know what failure looks like and feel like. What's the first step to overcoming this if I want excellence? Man, that's so good.
That's a great
Man, that's
question.
so Man, Pepper, I promise you, you just spoke for a lot of folks. So thank you for that contribution. So here's the thing. The prerequisite to overcoming the fear of success is getting clear about what did God really promise you. Because if I don't really believe that he loves me that much, if I don't really believe that he'll do exceedingly and abundantly more than I ask, think, or imagine according to his power at work within me, if I don't believe that, if I don't believe that he'll pour out a blessing so big that I don't have room to store, like if I don't believe those things, then I'm always going to be led by slave to my warped perception of what success should be for me in my life based on my context that I've lived in my life.
That's good. That's very good.
Because your experiences have caused you to believe that. So you can't change that belief system until you have some new experiences. But you won't have the new experiences if you don't believe that you should have the new experiences.
100%.
So that's why it has to go back to what do you believe about success? And what do you believe about what your creator said about success? Not your jaded past of success, but what his promise of success is. Watch this. And then have enough humility to say, even if I end up with success and abundance, it still ain't about me. He only gave it to me partially for me to enjoy, but the rest is for to do kingdom building. So to to cut yourself off from having success at the level by which God has designed for you to have it, whatever that is for you and your situation, is to say, I'm not available. Yeah, I know you had planned on using me, and I know you gave me the gifts and the talents and the tools and the resources to do it, but because of this thing is just uneasy, yeah, I'm not your guy. You should go get somebody else. When, by the way, for God did not give us the spirit of fear and timidity, but of power, love, and self-control. So he's saying, so you're gonna even let something that I didn't give you get in the way of what I'm trying to give you?
That's so good. You are
Hold on,
talking.
hold on. Let's rewind the tape. I just want to make sure I heard you correctly. You said that you're gonna let something that I didn't give you get in the way of what I'm trying to give you.
That's so good. That's so good. Wow. That's so good. I ain't never heard that before.
Me neither.
Yo.
But listen, here's what I want you to know. We will only behave consistently with what we believe. And it's not your fault what you believe. It's not your fault what has happened to you in life. But it is your responsibility. What do you do after? And I appreciate the humility of what Pepper said. That he realized the other day that he's actually more fearful of success than he is of fear. It's a lot of people that's like that. And it's a
Right.
lot of dynamics that cause us to get to this place in life. But to have the humility to one, be aware of it, to acknowledge it. Now it's just about having accountability to fix it. And the beautiful part is God already want more for you than you want for yourself. Did you hear what I? God already wants more for you than you want for you. I'd rather be in that position than the other, where I want more for me than he wants for me.
Come on.
He wants more for you than you want for you. So if we are co-heirs in Christ, and God is ordained and predestined for us to have all of this, everything that he, all the abundance, right? The life and life more abundant. Well, Psalm 37:4 says, take delight in the Lord and he'll give you the desires of your heart. So if you aren't desiring the thing that he desires for you, guess what you need to do? Spend more time with him and talk to him about his desires versus your desires and ask that his desires become your desires. It's in the book.
It's good.
Psalm 37:4 says, take delight in the Lord and he'll give you the desires of your heart. Most interpret that as he'll give you everything you want, but it means that he'll give you everything to want. Because it's an alignment thing. If I, as I sup with him, as I spend more time with him, I become more sensitive to the things that he already desires for my life. And when I desire what he desires, then I only do the things that he wants me to do. So guess what? I'm gonna be a lot more successful than do-overs. So what are we talking about when we're spending time? Lord, I'm just in a place now where my life is gonna be uncomfortable one way or another. I'd rather be uncomfortable on mission, doing what it is that you put me down here for 80 years to do, God willing, than to be uncomfortable because I found a cool place in hell.
That's so good. That's so good. Man, what you saying today, I ain't never heard before. So I don't know what got into you. I don't know if it's because the yacht that you about to go to, I don't know. But you talking right now.
Hey, look, Pepper started it. I'm just gonna say.
No, for sure. And even piggyback off of that, real quick. The story in the Bible you talked about that you talk about this so many times. The story in the Bible of the talents, right? To 1 5, to 1 2, to 1 1. But he gave to everybody to their own ability. One thing I realized is like when I started fearing success, when I was in a place of fearing success more than failure, I just never trusted the ability God gave me. Like I need their ability in order to get to where I need to get to. I need to speak like them. I need to move like them. And God is like, no, I've given you everything you need. There's a verse in I think in Corinthians or I think it may be Ephesians, but it was like God has given us, I think it's in Ephesians. I don't know, you could correct me, or it was like God has given you every spiritual blessing in the heavenlies so you can literally accomplish everything he needs you to do. So he's given all of us everything we need, but like you said, it's a matter of trusting that. So that's all I would have to say for that is to trust the ability God gave you, one. Because if I wanted to speak like Brian, even mind you, Brian is the him and Darius Daniels are really the only two speakers that I listen to on my off time when I'm off doing this and stuff like that. But if I wanted to be like either of them, I would be diminishing the ability God gave me. I wouldn't be honoring God and saying, "Oh, what you gave me is enough." So that's what I would say to that as well. Like God has given you everything you need to be the best version of yourself as well. So that's the only thing that I would add. I also wanted, yeah, go ahead. Were you about to say something?
No, I was just saying that's good. That's good. And it's you know, I, and David and I we having this like year end summit next week on Tuesday night, 7 p.m. to help people monetize their gift. Right? Many people I don't to your point, right? It just sparked something in me in that a lot of people just seem to be unaware of what their gift really is.
Right.
I think they know what their capabilities are based on the context of what they've done in the workplace and skill that they've acquired. But I don't know if people really hone in on what their natural gifting is, whether that be their spiritual gifts as well as the acquired skill that complements that spiritual gift and how to use that spiritual gift out of the context of the church, right? Because a lot of the time we think spiritual gift that's got to be dealt with in the four walls of the church, and it's like no, if you're if if you have a pastoral ministry gift, then you likely will be a good coach because it's shepherding people, right? If you got an
Right.
apostolic gift, then you likely will be a good entrepreneur because you know how to build worlds. If you have a good evangelical gift, you know, you likely will be somebody who will be a great host of events. So it's understanding like how did God design you? What did he give you already to accomplish his will that you just talked about? And so we're gonna help people kind of unpack that and get to a place where they can start making $10,000 a month minimum consistently. And we're gonna go through that on the webinar next week.
No, that's good. That's real good. And I got this question. I think you're gonna, yeah, you're gonna drop some gems on this question. It says, how do you stay silent when God seems, I mean, how do you stay excellent when God seems to be silent or when progress is slow?
You know, bro, this is a really good question. This is a really good question. And it used to trip me up a lot. I would have weeks, if not months, where I felt like God was being silent. No new big revelation. And I don't know this to be true, right? But this is what's been true in my life. Well, I'm not gonna say it's the truth, but it's been true for me. When you're aligned with your purpose and you walking that out, I don't think there's a lot of big revelation during that time
Please bother it.
because
Oh my.
you know, we have those moments where we know, like, man, God, that was a big pivot. But if I don't have any big pivots and I got a long walk, then, then he's not doing any redirecting. He's just watching.
Right.
Yeah, you going the right way. When you driving in the car,
Please.
when you're driving in the car,
Oh my.
I'm about to get on the road to Miami when we get off this call. It's a 3.5 hour drive. For about 2 of those hours, I'm on the same road. I'm on the turnpike for 2 of them hours. And I'm going at some point be freaking out like, is the GPS still working? Oh, yeah, it's working. It just ain't nothing to tell me. I'm on the right road for 2 hours.
So good. Oh my gosh.
But as I get closer to the hotel, watch this, and I come up on that exit, it's gonna be annoying me how much it's talking to me. Because now I got a lot of maneuvering that I gotta do to as I get closer to the destination.
My God.
So that's my experience.
That's so good. I knew you were gonna do something like that. That's so good, B. Because mind you, in this season, for where I'm at, no new revelation is just keep doing what you're doing. Keep being consistent. It's funny because my prayer life even shifted from praying for the next season to just being present in this one. I used
100%,
to,
bro.
I used to be like, oh Lord, bless me in the next season, and in this next season, do this, and in this next season, he's just silenced the next season prayers, and he's like, I just need you to pray and be here in this season. So now I'm like, Lord, help me steward this. Give me what?
Literally, literally, that's where I'm at.
Like
It
I'm not
took me
even
a while. It took me a while to come to that level of understanding, and I'm like, why am I tripping? And I don't negate the fact that I believe God is always speaking in the
right.
sense of, you know, I gave a waitress a generous tip last week. I felt like he told me to do that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I think there's still moments when you're fully present in the season,
right, right.
right? Not forsaking today for the purposes of tomorrow.
Yeah,
And so, like today, I got up and I'm like, praying for safe travels and just to get through my workout without injury.
right,
It's present today.
right,
You know what I'm saying? Not about what's going on next year and the business plan and no, it's just today. Like
right.
today. You know what I mean? Favor for today, divine connection for today.
Yes,
All the things for today.
yes.
Which is what I
100%.
think I mean, just based on how he treated the children of Israel with the manna, he wants us to be focused on today,
Right. 100%.
right?
Yep.
And
That's so good.
yeah, I think it's arrogant of us to think that he's supposed to always be doing something when he the one in control. It's like, God, how I come pray to you every day? I don't even feel like you gonna tell God how to God? That's kind of crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah,
Right.
I'm unqualified.
100%. That's so
Are you,
good.
but are you there when I need you though?
Come on. Come
Are
on.
are you there when I need you though?
That's so good.
Not my preference, not when I want you. Are you there when I need you? Is the question. Tell me a time that he haven't been.
I can't. That's good. That's so good. That's so good. And to even piggyback off of that, I was uh there's this one very short verse in the Bible about Enoch. And all it says is that Enoch walked with the Lord for closely for 300 years. That means every day. Every day. Because you can't do 300 years without getting through 365 days in those years. He's just walking with the Lord. He didn't have no Bible, no technology. He just was present every single day, trying to get closer to the Lord. And then on top of that, I think about Peter, where he was like, because as you were talking about the explanation of being on the right road, Peter's like, Lord, if it's you, tell me to come out on the water. He's like, come. We be wanting God to tell us 9 words. He's like, one word. And we don't be okay with that one word. I've realized in this season, God has just been like, keep going. That's it. That's all I'm hearing. Keep going. Keep doing what you're doing.
You know what I just thought about?
Talk to me.
I never thought about this till now. When you look at Martin Luther King as an example, and all of what he had to accomplish by the time he was 36 or 30, whatever number, I think he was 36 or 37 when he got assassinated. I would like to imagine his frequency of hearing from God was more. Based on when his expiration date was. Based on all of what he had to condense into that time frame from which he was here.
Wow.
So I'm a welcome this spacing. I don't need to know all that. That must mean I got some more time, man.
That's
If I'm
good.
seeking you every day,
That's so good.
if I'm seeking you every day,
Oh my
and this
God.
as much as you would like to share, then that must mean there's a lot more to come. So I'm gonna pace myself.
And I think about it in relationship. Like I'll use me and you for an example. If you were to tell me every single detail in one day, there would be no point in me talking to you anymore.
It'd be nutty. I mean, okay. Jesus' ministry lasted 3 years. So sometimes, man, we just gotta have a proper perspective. It's like, how much do you want to know?
Because he tell us all of that. He expects us to do it in the time frame that he gave it to us. Mind you, Jesus was silent for 30 years.
That's all I'm saying, bro.
So
That's all I'm
I
saying.
was not even thinking that.
And so it's the basic grace. That's the way I look at
Yeah,
it.
that's great.
The basic grace,
That's good.
right?
Right.
Obviously, the story ain't over yet. Save some stuff for me in a couple decades. Talk about that later.
No, that's really good. I was not thinking like that. Wow. He telling them more if he got a shorter time span. I was not thinking.
I mean, because he operating outside of time,
Right. Right.
right? So it's according to whatever our dash is for the time that we here.
Mm.
I mean, nobody has come back for us to ask him. I mean, Jesus, we wasn't there then though.
Right.
But short of that, I would love to know for those like Martin Luther King, like that had exponential contribution, but left very early.
Mm.
I would think the communication was constant.
Right. That's actually so good. I was not thinking that.
I never thought of that until we talking about this right now.
That's crazy. So you touched on something that I feel like I'm experiencing right now, which is the pace of grace. Woo! That pace of grace feels good. I used to get mad God wasn't telling me more, but I never was moving on the less that he told me.
Mm.
So I want to ask you, how do you
No. Say that one more time because they ain't hear that.
I was getting mad at God for not telling me more, but I never moved on the smaller, less details that he told me. So I'm like, you just want me to go right now. That's it? I'm like, you don't want me to go right, left, up, down, turn around, spin. So he's like, just go right. I'm like, that's not enough. So I was never moving on his enough. I never thought it wasn't enough. So I would never move. I would always get mad for not giving me those details. And then I would never move. And he's like, I'm not telling you anymore until you move.
Bro, let me ask y'all in the chat. How many of you has that been true for? That guy give you a detail, you don't like the detail, so you just it's like you working with a randomizer and you just keep shaking it until you try to get the one that you like. It's
Yep.
like, no, I'm not. Yeah, this ain't how this work. I'm not giving you the next thing until you go do the last one. So anyway, I digress, but that was good, bro. Like,
No, because I like, for example, I'll use building for an example. I think one thing people forget to do when building starts is you have to get the tools first.
mhm.
We want to start building immediately. Sometimes for this season, the instruction for me is go get the tools. You don't need to build yet. I need to make sure you get all the tools first. So when we do start building, you don't need to keep running back to go get the tools. A lot of people I realize I've been trying to build without all of the tools in my arsenal.
When Solomon built the temple, do we look at the extended length of details that God gave them before they started building, bro?
Come on.
Not only that, but in his providence, he had already created like master craftsmen to come and do the work for Solomon in the specificity of the areas of the work that needed to be done. Like it's insane, bro.
Right. 100%. 100%. And that's why I feel like it's so important as you talk about this. And after I explain this little piece, I'll ask you the question. But yeah, like I haven't been okay with just getting the tools. I was like, we're going to build. I need you to grab the tool. I'm like, nah, that's not enough. Like, how tall is the house going to be? How many rooms is going to be in there? He's like, well, if you never get the tools, you're never going to find out. And that's the part what I've been mad about for so long. Like, I want you to tell me how successful I'm going to be. He's like, you haven't even got the tools yet. And you want me to tell you what we're building. Now I'm going back to get the tools. And I am so grateful I didn't build a house on sand. As I look back and I think of all the things God didn't let me do, as I was just right before we got on the call, I was just reminiscing. I was writing in my journal, and I was like, there was two things that I said that I'm grateful for that happened on this journey. I was like, one, I thank God because if it wasn't for Him, I wouldn't be here. And then the second thing I said was that everything needed to happen the way it did. I never was okay with saying that before, but as I look back, and I'm like, wow, God got me to this point. All the yeses and the nos, open doors and closed. I'm happy. I'm happy for the yeses and the nos. Because I would have built on sand and then get mad when the storm comes. So, but my question now to tie into this is, I was talking about the pace of grace, and I think as you're being excellent, you just enter that pace of grace as you're on the excellence route. Like for example, like you said on the road, you're on the right road, the GPS not talking. So how let me not even say satisfied. How do you stay content within the pace of grace? Because I think it's easy to, start getting greedy in the pace of grace. Like, all right, like, is this how long we're going to be doing this for? Like you said, you're going to be on the same road for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Some people may be on the same road for 2 years,
Fact.
So it's like, how do you stay content in that pace of grace?
So for me, because I've done it the opposite way for so long, bro, this pace of grace is like amazing.
Mm,
If anything, for me, the pace of grace, because it was so unfamiliar, almost felt like a fairy tale that was going, like I was gonna find out Santa Claus wasn't real at some point, right?
mm,
And had this big letdown. And then but then it's like, no, but God really loves you though, like more than your parents love you. It's a season. Enjoy it. Like this is the pace of grace. And so I embrace it. And what I would say to that is the way that you, I think, don't get greedy is by understanding as long as you stay submitted to what he wants you to do, you're gonna be all right. The only time that greed thing come up is when you get confused about what you should be doing.
mm. That's
I
good.
I genuinely know in this season that there's nothing else I should be doing but what I'm doing right now. Genuinely. Like there's not any shadow of a doubt. While yes, there's opportunities and things that come up, I'm not confused though. Like I know based off of the grace that's on what we're doing right now that this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. Right. But I want to say this before I wrap, because you said something that I don't want to let go. You talked about getting the tools before you build.
Right.
This is where so many people miss the biggest pivots in their life, bro. So Mike Todd, I got a lot to say about Mike Todd, but I'll say this part for this day. One of the things I appreciate about him and his expression of his faith, like faith in action, right?
Right.
Obedience. Like I think he really exudes that. You don't bear the fruit, judge a man by his fruit. You don't get that kind of fruit by not doing something right principally. No matter how perspective can be off, right? But principally he's operating in the principles to get that kind of fruit. when he had taken over the church from the previous pastor, and it was a dying congregation of maybe less than 200 people, God told him to go out and raise $80,000 for lights and cameras for the church. He like, Lord, half these people done already left. You want me to go out here to the rest of them and ask them for lights and cameras for what? We got 10 people that watch YouTube on our YouTube sermons, and 9 of them is my mom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what do we need? You go out there, and everything that he said happened. He asked for the money, people left, but he also got it. And when he got them cameras and them lights, and the production value went up, he had no idea that somebody was gonna clip a piece of his sermon, post it to their Twitter page that had over a couple million followers, and he grew hundreds of thousands of followers overnight. That's how we know who he is today. Because he went and got the tools.
Come on.
God didn't tell him what he was about to build. He just told him to go get the tools.
Come on. That's so good.
And so, unfortunately, we got to end it right there because I got to get on the road.
Yeah.
But the question for everybody watching this today, right? What tools are you supposed to get that you haven't gone and gotten yet?
So good.
Just stop complaining until you go get the tools. Whatever that is for you. If you haven't gone and got the tools yet, stop complaining about the life you don't have yet. Because guess what? He don't want to hear it. And I don't either. I'm just saying. Bless y'all. We see you next week.
Yes, sir.